Hey rivals, welcome to Bax Attacks, and this episode we're looking at a couple of long streaks that got us up to 4,900 in our quest to 5,000. So I tried to put into practice some of the things that I talked about in previous videos in terms of trying to get a mana boost advantage. We're going to be using Forveil tonight and aiming specifically to get the longer streaks and to let the math work in our favor and to do what we can to funnel our troops well to get them into the core of the base. So this is a 9 streak, and we spread out the troops a little bit to make sure that we're going to send the main force into the center. We have a couple of ones going up north, but that's fine. That's part of the clearing process. And with that frost shield span down bottom, this one is fairly straightforward. We got the dragon in reserve in case we need to sweep in to finish, and he gets right in position now. Looks like the troops have it under control though. Alright, so that was pretty good. That's our 9 streak. And we'll take a little bit of extra gold too. Alright, now here I saw the Insanity Tower. Got a little bit worried here. And this is kind of a teaser base. The walls are suggesting you can't get in from the north. But what I like to do on this is to send in a couple units like soldiers down at the bottom in order to knock out that the defense that would draw the maulers. Once that's gone, by dropping down the maulers, they will chop a hole in that wall up north. You send in your other troops behind it. You send the dragon behind that. And not only do you take out the stronghold, but you do it safely because you don't even get near that Insanity Tower. So having just enough mana to cast a couple of Frost Shield is really all you need with that. And those soldiers or whatever you send down to the south needs to be able to knock out the distracting defenses. Alright, so I see another Insanity here. I'm wondering if everyone I'm going to see is getting Zilla. This is a little bit more than I expected. We're heading for, I think, streak 11 on this one. And we're going to use a boost for Ice Elementals to do that extra clearing. Notice now our main force has nowhere to go but right inside the base, and we're coming in from the direction opposite the Insanity Tower. We're using Forveil so that the Primus Conduited Ice Tower does not cause problems with the freeze. And even though the troops are going to go a little insane, it's not too bad. They're still going to do a lot of damage, and we have the dragon right behind it to make sure that the stronghold is taken out. We're also way far away from the flash tower, which was really poorly placed. So that's what you have to look for, little inefficiencies or defects on the base or things that are upgrading in order to pick your strategy and your approach vector. Alright, I think this is streak 12, and we're going to do the same thing. We're sending a couple of troops. It looks like soldiers and paladins down bottom, along with the dragons, since there's no Skywatcher. They're going to knock out the distracting defenses. Here come the maulers to punch a hole, and we've got our main force ready to come in behind them once they get that hole started. And when they do, with a couple of frost shields, there's really nothing that's going to stop them from getting to town hall. And we have the dragon as a backup in case there's any problems with that, but no problem on this base. So this is a very common design that you see. I'm really seeing this one a lot, but it really isn't too difficult if you're familiar with how to get your maulers to go where they need to go. Okay, so we're down to a little bit the lower streak number, but I thought this was an interesting base I wanted to share. I get the feeling that this player is looking to say something, but I can't tell exactly what. So it's an unusual base. It's not really meant to be a tough design as much as a way to say bye, but he does have a high-level flash tower. He's got some other dangerous things here, so we don't want to think that it's overly simple. But boy, there's just a ton of free mana up there that we'll be able to grab. The Skywatcher is one of the few things really that is protecting the stronghold from air. So really, once we knock that out, the dragon can literally just fly on top of the stronghold and take it out by itself. So as long as we can do that and not take too much time in the process, this is going to be a pretty straightforward stronghold lockout. Alright, so if you see an odd base or a troll base like that, look for what's the best way to kill the stronghold. That will often be by an air attack if you can knock out just the few air defenders that it has. If instead it's heavily defended by air, then you take the opposite approach. You figure out how to get your ground troops in there. Alright, so with that Sky Archer knocked out, the dragon just has to fly right in, and it is bye-bye for the bye-bye base. And now it's just a matter of go ahead and getting that extra gold before the flash tower knocks it out. And wow, that does some serious damage. That'll be nice to get one of that when we grow up. Alright, so that was good. We're now approaching 4,900. That's exciting. That's going to be a new high for sure. Some good money available on this space too, so that's nice. Alright, a stronghold 11 shouldn't be too bad. The only thing that's tricky about this space is you've got that anti-air dotted all around the outside of the building, and if you just drop your troops and go, they will circle all around that base. You will knock it inside, and the arrow launcher and catapults will just rip your troops apart as they wander around. So you have to funnel your troops, and by that I mean you have to knock out some distracting units and make a hole for your main force where they are not tempted to go around the base. And there's nothing too unusual with the spell towers, and so Forvel is a good choice here. We've got him up to a pretty good level, so he's got his 5 starting mana, which means we can get a Frost Shield up right away. We're just sending in one pair of soldiers to each side. They're gonna go around, but that's their job. Once they do that, the Maulers and the Wardens and Paladins will head straight in. Another benefit of the soldiers going around is they're generating mana for us to be able to cast Frost Shield on the main force going in. Once the main force is close, then we don't have to worry about protecting those roundabout troops anymore. And the dragon's all set to take it out if there are any problems. It looks pretty clean though. And there goes the stronghold. Alright, got some good gold down at the south still. We saw some soldiers actually still going around. We'll distract the flame tower with the dragon and wipe out the base. So a nice epic victory there. That gets us up to 4896 honor. That's the highest we've been. That's just about 100 away from the arena. That's pretty exciting. And we get a new ancient here, Aloni, new for this Bax account. And as a common ancient, the amount of Primus needed to get this up is up to 15. The maximum level is really pretty reasonable. So we'll throw some Primus at that. Actually, wow, got to 15 level right in one swoop. And we've already done a first look at Aloni. He's got the Fire Frenzy, ability to summon elementals, and ability to do some damage on the base there. Alright, so getting ever closer to 4,900. A few more should do it. Some really good gold on this base. And let's see, got a Flare Tower, got some Spell Towers right around the stronghold. They're freeze though, so Forvel is a great choice for that. And it's going to be a little bit hard to get inside the base. We have to watch our funneling as well. Oh boy, those are high level Spell Towers as well. So let's look around. See the ladder on the flash tower? That means it's upgrading, so that will not be firing. It may actually show an animation where it seems to be charging up from the spells that we cast, but that's okay, it won't actually be shooting at us. And there's some gold hidden in the trees up there. That's cute. There have been some bases where I've totally missed out on some gold by that, so that is a neat little trick. Just to be sure on this, I'm going to get some extra troops here. There's a lot of free buildings around, so some Mountain Hunters will help with that. And we're going to have to use some units to create a hole and get a nice funnel for our troops to go into the core. So we'll start on those free buildings with the dragon up top. We'll get the Mountain Hunters, dragon at the bottom, Mountain Hunters up top. Alright, they won't live through that, and unfortunately the watchtower protected those a little bit better than I expected. But that's okay, we still got plenty of both mana, and we are clearing out that whole side. Now, to make sure that the troops that we're going to deploy there don't mess up and go around the edge of the building, we're going to send that dragon over to knock out that potential distraction. Alright, so here come the troops led by the Maulers. Got the Frost Shield protecting those. Flame Tower's out of range right now. We do a little sweep to draw some fire. Come back in again. And we're just going to use, we have so much mana, we'll just use the Midwinter to just completely shut down that level 45 Flame Bolt Tower. Nice long duration on that Midwinter, that's very nice. And swoop the dragon right into position, and there goes the stronghold. Alright, so even that was a much higher level base with some really pretty strong walls. By thinking through the attack and by taking advantage of the weaknesses in the base, we're able to take that out. So that's a win streak 7. And there we go. We're over 4,900. Hope you enjoyed this part of the push.